When you think of the word Grand Tourer, it's usually a Bentley, an Aston, or something expensive that pops into your mind. What if I told you there's two rivals that are much cheaper, and that's why?
Today we got two of the most affordable Grand Tourers. This is the Kia Stinger GT.
This is a Ford Mustang.
Let's get into the introduction.
You might be wondering, Ford Mustang and a Kia Stinger, they are not comparable. Maybe we focus on that first, and that's why Paul is here to say.
Okay guys, let's talk about the obvious difference between them.
Like Paolo said, obvious differences. The Kia gets 18-inch alloys at the front and 19-inch alloys at the back.
And in the Mustang, you get 19 in the front and 19 at the back. Pretty similar.
Now at the front you can see the sophistication Kia designers has put into designing this. It kind of looks like an M5 at the front thanks to these headlights and
with the Mustang, it just looks like a Mustang.
iconic though.
Very iconic.
Once again at the back, it is very visible that the Kia design team has put in a lot of effort to designing this car, and this light bar does help it look more modern. And thanks to the quad tips, it kind of looks like a 812 Superfast.
Whoa, speaking with sophistication?
Wait, listen, I'm trying to be professional.
I'm sorry. But with the Mustang, still a Mustang. But it's still iconic.
I said obvious difference. Come on guys, let's do it again.
Fine. Let's talk about the most obvious difference. The Kia Stinger gets a four-door and the Mustang is obviously a coupe. Now for some reason I think the Kia would kind of look better as a coupe, but then the Mustang as a sedan, meh. And this is not technically a sedan, it's a fastback. And this does look beautiful. And my preference is, if you have friends, go for this. If you have a friend, go for this. And at the end of the day, you know what they say, for those more. Now the biggest difference is the engines of these two cars. So this gets a twin-turbo V6 pushing out 366 horsepower and 510 Newton meters of torque, drives via a torque converter 8-speed gearbox, and it gets rear-wheel drive.
And in the Mustang, it gets a naturally aspirated V8 engine which produces 480 horsepower and 560 Newton meters of torque. It drives via
Is the bonnet heavy?
a bit heavy.
See, that's why the
Yeah.
Kia, it's so much easier. Anyway, back to what you were saying.
Anyway, it drives via a 10-speed torque converter gearbox, and it also has a rear-wheel drive. And
Yes.
yes, that was quite heavy.
Yeah. And now let's see what they sound like.
Okay guys, before we go on with the video, don't forget to subscribe and give us a like, alright? So
Yes, and leave a comment below because it helps us get cool cars like this. And thank you for supporting. See you.
When it comes to pricing, the second-hand market values of both these vehicles are pretty similar, with good examples ranging anywhere from $55,000 to $65,000. So, pricing-wise, it is a bit affordable in the second-hand market. And it's not just that. So both of these cars get torque converters and rear-wheel drive. Might be a bit similar than we thought. Here's a few more.
This car gets a launch control function, it does get remote start, and it also gets bumper brakes.
And this gets remote start, launch control, and also bumper brakes.
But you know what it doesn't get? A V8.
Well, this gets a twin-turbo V6.
Not the same thing. Not the same thing.
But it
And
sounds-
this gets 100 horsepower more. Wow. There is one thing that the Kia gets that this doesn't get. It's this automatic boot release function. Now it's different to most cars. If you stand here, it's gonna pop open and look. I didn't have to click any buttons and it just popped open.
And in the Mustang, it is a bit skimpy when it comes to luxuries, but you get a button in the key which you press to unlock your boot, and then you open it manually.
It's not just that, the Kia is a bit more luxurious. Now you do get heated seats, ventilated seats in both the cars, and you also get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Now Kia has taken it a bit further. You get a heated steering wheel, which is quite nice during winter, and you also get a much larger infotainment system. Now you also get blind spot monitors, which pops up in the instrumental cluster as you indicate.
And it's not just that makes me think the Kia is better. It's also this beautiful interior with Napa leather and a much more beautifully designed cabin, with a sunroof that makes the cabin feel much more lively. It creates a sensation that wants you to get in and drive.
Now, just because Dylan speaks so highly of the Kia, it doesn't mean that the Mustang is far worse. Yes, everything in the interior is black. The buttons on the steering wheel just make the vehicle feel a bit cheap, but it does get the job done. This vehicle does get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And one thing I should add is that they could have added a sunroof to make this a bit less gloomy and dark. That's just my thought. But here's the thing Dinuk said. The interior plays a part in the Kia that creates a sensation that you want to get in and drive. But in the Mustang, that's a V8's job, the roaring V8. With the active exhaust, which you get 4 different modes to pick from, is what makes you grab the keys and eager to drive this.
In my opinion, what a beautiful interior the Kia gets. And the technology is so amazing. It's so much value for money. But the Mustang, that V8, sounds so nice. And the exterior looks so much better for me. So let's take them for a drive and see how they play out.
Driving the Kia Stinger. Now this car has a bit of mud sound to it, that's why it's loud. Normally it isn't this loud. And let's start with acceleration. So we're in second gear. There is a bit of a tail kick. Very quick. It is a very quick car and handling pretty sharp. Unlike the Mustang, has better handling. I'm not too sure why, because both of them are rear-wheel drive cars. Both of them weigh the same, but I feel like because the front of this car isn't as heavy as the Mustang, it does handle better. Now the gearbox, despite being a torque converter, we're on 6th gear. Let's shift down. 5th, 4th, 3rd. Not bad. The Mustang's main thing is that it's a proper sports car, but the Kia Stinger, not bad at all. I do quite like it. The Mustang. Now, compared to the Stinger, one very good thing is the fact that this gets a V8, so there's iconic V8 noises in this car. I mean, listen to this. It sounds amazing. Now, one thing I do have to say is acceleration on both cars are pretty similar. 0 to 60 times are very similar as well. And for some reason, acceleration in this car, you can feel it a bit more compared to the Stinger. The Stinger is a bit more tamed compared to the Mustang. Whereas when you're in the Mustang and you are accelerating hard, you're like, oh shit, I might lose control. Which is the reason why Mustangs always crash at car meets. And steering wise, now the Mustang steering is a bit more heavier and it's not as accurate as that of the Stinger. So when it comes to steering, that's better. But when it comes to fun, I feel like this Mustang is a bit better in that regard. And the gearbox. Now this gets a torque converter gearbox as well. And this is better. This is better than that of the Kia. But then if you want a quicker car around the corners for a hill drive, Kia Stinger. Okay, we've given it a few thoughts. What's better? Paolo, you want to start?
In terms of value for money, for me, that's the car, the Kia, the Stinger is the best value for money. But when you look at this V8 and how they sound, you still think about it. Like, yeah, you have to decide it. But yeah, I would go for that one, for the Stinger. What about you?
Surprise, I would also go for the Stinger. This is, no offense, Kevin. Yes, the Mustang does have a V8, but there's something about the Stinger. It's just the interior, the exterior. It's just subtle but sleek and nice. You can't describe it. It's nice.
You can describe it. Let me describe it. Go for this. If you are single and you're young, go for this.
See now, me and Paulo, how we think is like...
They think like that, but
we
don't
think proper
like
way.
that. No,
Yeah.
you only live once. Get this big 5-liter V8 because it sounds cool. Okay, to be honest, driving wise, I had more fun in this, but that V8. Always go for a V8. And I think, yeah, I will go for this. Let's fight it out. Winner gets to decide what car we buy.
Chicken dinner.
And final verdict, it really comes down to your lifestyle choices. While we highly recommend the Mustang, what a good surprise from the Kia engineering team. So that's where we'll leave it. Thank you for watching Total Talk AU, and we hope you have a good day.